Hello, I'm Cosmic Jack. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I wanted to come in and really dive deep into this eclipse season because it feels super powerful, impactful, important, potent, and there is going to be such a shift in your reality in the next month. Like, I guarantee you that. Like, I can guarantee you that. And so it's really interesting because for me, the energy feels so spiritual, so powerful, like so just magical, like because it's like all of the work that you've put in is coming to fruition at this time. But on the flip side, if you haven't been putting in the work, this is going to be a divine rearranging, and which is kind of just, you know, the nice way to say that like spirit's going to kick your ass. And so kind of think back to the eclipse season in the springtime. We had an eclipse March 25th and April 8th in the Libra Aries axis. So think about the themes that you've been moving through the last 6 months, and then we can even rewind further back to April 2023 and like what were the themes and things that started back then, because this is our last South Node Libra eclipse that we are having in October, on October 2nd, with the second eclipse. This axis will come to a close with, there's going to be another Aries eclipse next spring, but we are also starting a new cycle with this Pisces eclipse on September 17th, all around the Pisces Virgo axis in your chart. And so it's kind of this transferring of the guards between me, like I, like the personified I, your ego, and really your service and your mission. And because really to go from Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, to Pisces is really like a deconstruction of the I, and really not making it about the I, and really making about like your selfless service to spirit, to God, to the creator. And so we've gone through like a year and a half of really putting ourselves first and being like me. And now we're transitioning into, okay, I made it about myself so that I can make it about other people with Pisces. Because Pisces is like here to be in such devout spiritual service to a higher purpose and to a higher mission, right? Pisces is about really about like being super powerful in your connection to spirit. It's about like the cosmic consciousness, the interconnectedness of like the people, the ocean, the earth, the stars, the sun, the moon. Like it's about like, you know, the animals, like it's like about everything, right? It's about the universe as a whole, right? And really kind of being connected to the vastness of everything, the oneness of everything, right? My father, who is a Pisces rising, Pisces Mars, is like, we live here on in Earth, the most beautiful planet in the world, right? And it's really about recognizing how you're connected to every little piece of matter around you, of all of the material around you, and really like seeing everything that crosses you as your path as like a spiritual connection and a spiritual purpose. And really it's about kind of like the shadow and subconscious like revelations and upheaval that is required for you to live out your spiritual mission and purpose. And why I think this time is so interesting is because there really is this like this big relationship release is the best way I could put it, but it doesn't necessarily even have to be like I'm just never going to speak or talk to that person ever again. It's like I have to disavow this one shadow energy of how I showed up in this relationship. And it's not that like the relationships completely have to sever ties, but I need to recalibrate how I show up in relationship. And so it's like then the relationships then get to meet you in a different form and from a different experience and from a different energy. And so like, yes, it's like our relationships are getting rearranged, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're falling out. It means that they're the energy within us that comes from more of a shadow frequency needs to be complete and whole and fulfilled within us, so that we're no longer relating to relationships from a place of codependency and needing to get our needs met from someone else, but rather turning within, self-sourcing your own emotional needs and fulfillment and practicality and power, and then re-meeting and realigning from relationships from that place. And it's like, I'm super boundaried, I'm confirmation, but right? It's like, I'm super balanced in myself, I'm whole with myself, I am sovereign in myself. And then like, it's like reintroducing yourself to all of the relationships in your life. And of course, because you have changed so much internally, some of your relationships will fall off. And so it's like really like, because Pisces is so spiritual in its mission, it's like and really Pisces can be one of the most self-sacrificing signs, as can Libra. So I've had a spiritual an astrologer basically was like, the only difference, like there's no difference between Libra and Pisces. One is just water, one is just air. And it's like really, it's an interesting time because you're really having to reflect on the parts of yourself and how you relate to the like everything in your life, right? Because what's being reflected to you in your life, right? Like Pisces is illuminating those shadows, right? It's like it's getting reflected and projected back onto you, like where you are not congruent in your relationships. And like for me, I've had to, not that I like released a lot of relationships, I've had to change. And so as a result, how I show up in relationship has changed, right? And so then there's like this like kind of like reacquainting period almost, right? Where you're like, okay, like I, was super unboundaried like when I first entered this relationship, and now I'm showing up to this relationship from a powerful boundaried place. And so it's like there's almost just like this like mourning that's coming through of like how you used to be and how you used to present in relationship, but it was based on a place of codependency. And now it's like you don't exist from that place anymore because you have worked so hard to integrate and identify with this Aries energy, which is like action and independence and confidence and assertion and really like the I, right? Like your identity, like what is the identity that you need to have to be in alignment to manifest what you actually want, right? And the identity piece was what was always missing for me for so long, because it's like your identity is how you see and view yourself. And like if you are always identifying with yourself and in the context and the terms of relationship and relating to other people, you're always going to be existing in some sort of shadow frequency, because we're here to become self-actualized individuals, right? And so really this kind of transformation of power within relationships is bringing you back into deeper alignment with yourself so that you can actually be more powerful and of greater service to the people that you're here to teach and to learn from and to actually just serve, right? And so the energy just collectively is like a massive purge, right? It's a massive purge. It's emotional, it's deep, like your past is coming up, where you have been your own self undoing, where you have not had your best interest at heart, where you have self-abandoned, where you have overridden your own boundaries for other people, where you have been self-sacrificial, where you have been codependent, where you have been so controlling over how other people see and view you, right? How, like, that's manipulative, right? It's like, how manipulative have you been? Because it's like, and really this comes from a deep safety and survival within us, because, you know, when we're younger, we rely on other people to meet our needs and for our own survival. But part of the evolution and the maturity of you as an individual is knowing how to be self-sourced and so powerful that it's like you aren't reliant on anything outside of you. You are the powerful one, and you're the one that's making life happen. And then you can relate and attract relationships and make influence and impact in such a different way, because you're no longer reliant on other people to meet you in a certain way for you to feel safe and secure with yourself, because you are secure and safe with you. It's about the intimacy that you have with yourself, right? And so anytime you're disconnected and discombobulated, right? Because that's Pisces. Pisces gets flown off into la la land when it's not grounded in the earth. Confirmation, right? And so it's like wherever you're disconnected, where you're actually disconnected in your reality, it's like you're actually just disconnected from yourself. And so whatever is happening in your external reality is a reflection of what's going on internally, right? And some people look like they have it all together externally, right? But really the life inside of them is chaos. It's emotional turmoil, right? It's disconnection. They're disconnected from themselves because they have learned to exist in the world from a place of self-abandonment, right? And it's like, I'm going to override my own needs so that I can get so that I can feel safe with you, right? And it's so Pisces Libra, right? It's like, I need to feel safe. I need you to do this and to be this way for me to feel safe, right? And then it like victimizes itself when other people don't match and mirror them in the way that they want. And so there's really all of this shadow that's being expunged right now. And it's really about trusting the release points and really trusting what is presented to you. The past is coming up in a really big way. And you know, you're seeing all of the ways in which you've grown, all the ways you've overcome fear, all the ways you've overcome trauma. And it's like you have to actually let it all go and like restart and reset your life from this new neutral point. Because holding on to the past just projects it into the future. And so if you are really to have always been connected to your power and your authentic truth, it's like, who could you have been? And what would you be projecting into your reality now, right? And so it's like no longer, I'm like seeing like this like stranglehold, like no longer allowing your past to have a stranglehold on you, no longer wishing something was different, right? No longer wishing you hadn't done that thing, and really seeing your shadows and your old ways of operating and being with this like lens of love and really acceptance and like non-judgment, which is Pisces, right? And really just being like, okay, that's how it was. That's how it was. The past happened that way because that's how it's supposed to happen. But from here on out, I'm going to actually just be in control of the only thing I have control over, which is my level of resilience and my self-love and compassion and acceptance that I have. And so really, it's about being this like cosmic conduit, no pun intended, of really mastering yourself, to master your reality, and really releasing any part of you that needs anything externally, right? Because if you are whole and you are happy and you're fulfilled and you feel you and you got you and you trust you, there would be no need for codependency, right? And it's a totally different way of relating, right? And so it's really like we've broken, like what I'm seeing now is like we've broken solid ground. It's like you've dug and you've dove deep like within you, and now you get to be met on that external projection on the other end of the pole, because you have dove in so deep within yourself and within your heart and within your soul and expunged all of these emotions and these feelings and these traumas and these patterns and these beliefs. And it's like now you have to actually meet yourself and show up to yourself in a new way and re-relate to your life and to your reality and to your relationships from this new empowered version of yourself that is grounded in the essence and the core of who you are. And being okay with any fallout and any trigger points that may manifest or result from you being empowered. Because what I will say is Mars in Cancer is really purging a lot. This Pisces eclipse that we're coming into is purging a lot. And then this eclipse that we're having in Libra on October 2nd is going to be square this eclipse. And then we're also going to have a Venus-Mars-Saturn trine. So we're going to have a grand water trine with the second eclipse. And so it's like water. And really what I'm feeling is like, it's like because water holds a frequency and an energy. And it's like stuck water and stuck emotion spoils, like stagnant water. Like have you ever like had just like water in a cup? It's stagnant, it like spoils, right? And so there's a lot of emotions that need to be purged out and felt over the course of the next month, because it's like you can no longer hold that emotional density and trauma and turmoil within yourself, right? And so, but what's really going to happen to the people who are unawake or unaware is it's just going to be like trigger city, and people are going to be really spewing and spouting, like picture like a water, like a geyser, like they're like just spewing fucking emotions because they don't have the tools to move through these internal processes. Your body holds so much water, right? So that they know how to not be reactive and responsive from a place of wounding, right? And so it's knowing how to do this for yourself so that you aren't sabotaging, right? Because that's really where people sabotage, is when they react and they respond and they are impulsive from their emotions, right? And so when you, again, know how to give yourself what you need to feel safe and secure, because that's really what a trigger is. It's like something doesn't feel safe. And so when you know how to meet yourself in that intimacy and support yourself and be the container for yourself, it's like that is the recipe for miracles and manifestations, because you can hold your own, and you can hold your own container, and you can hold your own space for yourself to process and move through these deeper, darker densities that need to be expunged from your field to learn to completely re-relate to your reality, right? And so it's about like owning your fears and your traumas, right? But not allowing them to be controlled by you or control you. Like you're the one in control, like you're in the driver's seat, not your past, right? And so it's really about this like deep kind of cleansing and clearing of these shadows and these energies that we have with ourselves, and knowing how to move through them in a grounded way so that we can then use the pain and the emotions to create, right? Because your emotions are powerful inspiration, right? Our emotions are what make us human, right? It's our emotions that tell us how we feel and relate to the world, right? And it's like we're here to experience it all, right? And when you're no longer afraid of emotions, you can hold such a higher capacity for joy and love and happiness, right? Because you're not afraid of being met with the emotions on the other side of the polarity, right? And then you can actually program your reality to create more of what you want, because you can just always meet the fear and move through the fear in the moment. And you're not scared to go there with yourself, because you have you can hold that emotional, like, I'm just gonna say that service. It is emotional service and support for yourself, right? And so this eclipse season is really a powerful conduit, is the way that I'm seeing it. It's like the universe is confirmation, but right, catapulting you into a totally different stratosphere by rearranging you internally. It's like this, again, it's like this internal Rubik's Cube, right? And so you're internally being rearranged. And so it's not that like our external relationships are being rearranged and recalibrated, although that they are. It's like they are just a reflection of what's recalibrated within you, right? And so pay attention, because relationships are our deepest mirrors, right? Or how people respond, or how people react, or how even other people have changed. And then it brings up something within you. It's like, ooh, this person, this friend that I have just has new boundaries and it's triggering me a little, right? So it's like, where are they showing you to have stronger boundaries? And really just see everything that's happening as a divine reflection and a divine mirror to what's being asked for you to integrate, so that you can come back to a place of wholeness with yourself. Because on the other side of this, like internal, again, like Rubik's Cube recalibration, is you so freaking powerful. And then you using like your emotions to create what you want, and you being the creator of your reality instead of the reactor to your reality. So it's really interesting, because I think there's going to be a lot of heartache, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of compassion that needs to be given, a lot of forgiveness that needs to be given, a lot of empathy that needs to be given, a lot of understanding. And that starts with yourself, right? Like not judging yourself, not condemning yourself, not blaming yourself, not shaming yourself, because that is really deep, emotional, and like energy, like it holds a lot of density, it holds a lot of weight, and that's not what you want. You want light energy. You want to, and the way that you feel light energy is you move through emotions, right? That's how you raise your frequency and your vibration, is you hold and you move through the emotions, right? That's why I say I just did shadow work and I lost like 30 pounds, right? Because my body held on to so much density. It was just like an energetic sponge of emotion, right? And so when I learn to move through my emotion, I'm immediately always lighter on the other side, right? And so it's being that container for yourself, right? Really being that powerful conduit for your own emotions, so that you can leverage them to catapult you forward. I'm just looking down because I'm looking at the cards that I pulled, and it's like there's really like this just like heart blasting open energy, and it's like really on the other side of this softening, and you feeling these kind of intense, sticky, shadowy emotions. It's like you get to create everything that you want. And so it's a really powerful time this next month. It's a shadowy time, it's a powerful time, it's an exciting time to really manifest and create a lot of what you want. So I'm excited to see who we all are on the other side, but it's like new levels, new levels, new levels, new levels, new doubles. So in order to clear that level, it's like you actually just have to fully clear out that level of your life and that level of your reality. Because when you move up like energetically, it's like everything either has to come with you and you have to hold the space for that to come with you, or it just needs to be released. And so allow yourself to be the catalyzer and the expander for other people by looking inward at yourself, and then giving everyone in your life an opportunity to mirror and match you too. So big relationship energy, but really it's about the relationship that you have with yourself, which sets the tone for everything in your life. And it's a really powerful time to be doing the work and clearing out the space so that you can receive so much more than you could have ever even thought to fucking ask for. So sending you lots of love. If you want to learn how to master your reality and be a cosmic conduit, I'm launching a 12-week program supporting you in doing just that. There's 2 parts to this. It's Astrology 101, which is basically mastering the energy of all of the astrology components, the signs, the houses, the planets, how to read a birth chart, how the planets work for you and against each other. Really how like I use astrology as like a way of like personal development, teaching you my specific methods and modalities to really always know how to be in alignment with yourself, how to do the shadow work, to know what's coming, what to expect. And then Astrology Mastermind is all about working with transit astrology, which is what's happening in the sky now, and really doing the personal development work to catalyze and create a new reality and existence for yourself. And so you will always know how to anchor in change anytime you want. Always be grounded. Confirmation, always be grounded, because you know exactly what's coming and what's happening and how to work with it, because you have mastered the astrology transits. You know exactly what's happening, and astrology always prepares you. It always tells you what's coming. And so when you can have an understanding and be able to interpret the language of the stars, then it's like you have this like powerful tool for you always to use at your disposal. And so you can be grounded and relaxed in your body and your nervous system, because you know what's happening. You know how to read it. The astrology tells the story of what's happening here on Earth. So getting ahead of it to have leverage over your life is super powerful. So if you want support in doing this, I highly recommend getting inside both. But of course, if you already have like a deep understanding of astrology and you just want to do the transits, you can do that. If you just want to learn Astrology 101, how to read a birth chart, you can just do that. But package and combine them together gets you a special discounted bundled price. So I'm super excited to end the year with astrology as your powerful conduit and as your guide to really self-actualize and really be an embodiment of your birth chart. So sending you lots of love. Happy eclipse season. I'm so excited to see who you become on the other side of this major change and transition. So sending you lots of love. Bye, guys.